Okay, hello. Good evening. Right, you're the only one here today, I guess. All right, yes, hello, Gabriel. I guess it's a Merdeka Day thing lah. So nobody is here today. Unfortunately, I was almost going to end the class. In fact, all right. Anyway, glad you came in time. So, you know what? Since it's holiday next week. Oh yeah, by the way, it's holiday next week. Just as a quick reminder. So I'm not gonna do anything, too heavy today. Because if I do, then mostly I'm still gonna repeat it next next week. All right. So let's repeat a little bit on last week's stuff. Okay, I think I kind of stop around here. So yeah, let's do some revision and let's go to exercise. And yeah, if we have the time, we might talk a little bit about drugs today. Okay, this is a really interesting stuff. Okay, anyway, so let me just quickly go through our hormones. So we have a few glands in our body, starting from the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, they will release ADH and GH, the growth hormone. So when you have too much ADH, you have too much water in the body. All right. If you have too little ADH, then you have too little water in the body. You will pee a lot. You'll be dehydrated, and this is a condition called diabetes insipidus. Well, you don't need to know. Okay, so GH, this is to help you grow. So if you have too much, you have gigantism. Okay, and if you have too little, then you have something called dwarfism. Well, you'll be too short. Okay, anyway, so next we have our thyroxine. Okay, this is secreted by your thyroid gland, which is this gland here. Yes, Shaina, hello, good evening. Happy Merdeka to you. Yay, we have two now. Okay, so I just started the class lah. Okay, don't worry because there wasn't anyone for the first 10 minutes. I was on the very verge of ending the class already. Right, anyhow. Anyway, so your thyroxine, this is to control your metabolism. If you have too much, your metabolism will be too high. You'll be always sweating. You will have very good appetite. You will lose weight very easily. And on the other hand, if you have too little thyroxine, you will have low metabolism. You have cretinism in children. You have low energy in adults. You'll be gaining weight really easily. Okay, so that's your thyroxine. And then adrenaline. This is for emergency. Nothing about too much or too little here. And then insulin, this is to convert your glucose into glycogen. Okay, to convert sugar into that thing you store in your liver. Okay, yes, Neha, hello, good evening. Happy Merdeka. So, yay, there's 3 of us today. So anyway, as I was saying, okay, sorry, the birds are really annoying outside my windows. Let me close it real quick. Okay, anyway, so when you have too much insulin, then you will have too low sugar, okay, low glucose level, you'll faint. And if you have too little of it, then you will have diabetes because you have too much sugar. Okay, so anyway, wow, just curiosity, just curious, guys. You guys didn't go anywhere, man. 3 of you. You guys didn't go anywhere for today? Because I can foresee that. Because the outside traffic is, oh no, okay. Because outside traffic is, it's a huge havoc today. Okay, so you guys didn't go anywhere, right? Oh my God, it's a wise choice. You didn't go anywhere. Okay, I just went to a Thai temple for prayers today. Oh my God, the traffic is a freaking havoc. Okay, glad that you guys are not out there. Okay, anyway, so ovary, they will produce estrogen. This is where you feel your, it gives you your female characteristic. Okay, so if you have too little, then you have delayed puberty for females. Too much it's not a problem for females, but it is a problem for males because you will have female characteristics, which makes you not very manly. Okay, to put it in a nicer word. All right, so progesterone, this is to help you get pregnant. If you have too little, you will have miscarriage. Too much, this is not much of a problem. And testes, if you this one will produce testosterone. This is the counterpart of estrogen. This is to give you your male characteristic. And if you have too little, you have delayed puberty as well, low sperm count. And if you have too much, for a guy, it's not a problem. You have more muscle, which is a good thing. But for females, then you will have male characteristics. All right. So anyway, we go into some exercise first, shall we? Let's do some exercise first. I know this is a bit boring stuff for today because later we shall go into the drop part. Okay. So anyway, I think we stop around question 4, right? Did I? If I haven't done any of this, you let me know, or if I've done any of this, you let me know. Okay, so let's go to question 4. I think I stopped around here. If my memory serves me right, that is. So number 4, so this is an endocrine system of a woman. So this is your ovary. These are your ovaries, pardon. Okay, so anyway, name the hormones produced by gland. Why? Okay, do take note, hormones, so we need to write 2. So that would be your estrogen, and that would be your progesterone. All right, funny thing about these 2 hormones, I'm not sure whether I told this last week. These 2 hormones, they will make you do crazy stuff. Okay, they will make you really moody. They will give you that mood swing. That's why girls have mood swings, because of these 2 hormones. Okay, I'm sure you can't help it. Okay, I know, because my wife is this way too. Sometimes she gets mad and she throws tantrum and she merajo for no reason. Even I ask her, what do you want? She say, even girls, they don't know what they themselves want. Okay, so this is your estrogen and your progesterone, making you crazy. Don't worry, you're not crazy. It's just that the hormones, they're powerful things, okay? Your hormones, they're very powerful. So this makes your mom very, very emotional too. Okay, girls are emotional. That's just a given, okay? What more if you're pregnant, okay? Guys, if you're pregnant, do not mess with pregnant women. They are batshit crazy. Okay, to put it mildly is to say that they are batshit crazy, okay? Why? Because when you're pregnant, your estrogen and progesterone, they are through the freaking roof. Okay, this is very good for the baby. But for your mood-wise, yikes, okay? You'll be a train wreck. Okay, you'll be crying a lot, okay? One moment you're happy, and then the next moment you're sobbing your eyes out. So that's the hormones. Okay, you're not crazy. Okay, it's the hormones making you crazy. Right. Anyway, so state one function of each of the hormones. So like I said, estrogen is to give you that female secondary sexual characteristics. Whoa, what a long name. What a long word. Ciri seks sekunda perempuan. Okay, guys, do let me know if you need me to write in DM. I'm just too lazy today. Okay, pardon me. Okay, so what is progesterone for? This is for the development of your uterine lining. Okay, development of uterine lining. Okay, so what the hell is a uterine lining? That would be the placenta. Okay, that would be the placenta. Is it mentioned here? Yeah, wall of the uterus lah. All right, this is for the development of the uterus for your pregnancy. Okay, guys, fun fact. Your progesterone for the first 4 months of pregnancy. Okay, you get pregnant for like what, 10 months, right? 9 months, 10 months, the trimester lah. So for the first trimester, the first 3 months of pregnancy, it's not very stable. Okay, it has the highest chance of miscarriage. Okay, many people, they get pregnant, and then during the first 3 months, the baby just die in the stomach. Okay, why? Because during these 3 months, your progesterone is not very stable. So your baby has a chance of dying. Okay, so this is why, I don't know whether you know this lah. For us Chinese, when someone gets pregnant, for the first 3 months, you don't announce. You don't say anything about it. You don't announce anything about it because you could jinx that thing. I know that's what my mom tells me. Okay, similarly of her saying that you don't praise a child when she or he is really young, okay, because you are going to jinx the thing. Okay, it's just some silly superstitions lah. Okay, so B, although gland Y exists since birth, the gland is inactive. When will gland Y become active? So when you're born, your uterus, they're just chilling, and then when you hit a certain age, we call puberty. Okay, so they will start to be active. Which for girls, you learn this last chapter. Girls' puberty is around I don't know, 10 years old, 10, 15, 11 years old, slightly earlier than males. All right, so next, C, name the endocrine gland for men that is also inactive during birth. Okay, so for us males, we have the same thing that is also inactive. That would be our testes. Okay, they want the gland, they don't want the hormones, they want the gland. So explain the function of the hormone that is secreted by the gland you have stated. So what's the function of this hormone? Now they want the hormone. Testes will produce testosterone, right? Okay, testosterone, right? So what's the function of the testosterone? This is to give you that male secondary sexual characteristics. Basically, to make you a male, to make you manly, to make you sexy, okay, or the girls call it. So number one is this. Number two is to stimulate sperm production. Right? This is why they are called a sex hormone. They make you attract the opposite sex, and they make you to be able to make a baby. So, okay, if you think of it this way, if you think of it this way, testosterone and estrogen and progesterone, these three hormones, they are essential for the continuity of mankind. Okay, without these three, human would go extinct. Okay, because we are not attracted to each other already. Girls and boys, males and females, we are not attracted to each other. We cannot produce sperm and ovum. Then we would cease to exist. We will go extinct. Okay, so these three hormones are what keeps us going on for I don't know, a few 100,000 years. Okay, that's why we are here today. So D, take the effects of the lack of hormonal secretion for the ovaries. Okay, so if you lack progesterone and estrogen, what's gonna happen? Okay, number one, menstrual cycle is irregular. Yes, because these two, guys, they control your menstrual cycle. All right, so if your menstrual cycle is all over the place, if your menstrual cycle is not regular, then these two, they're responsible. Okay, so next, miscarriage occurs if she's pregnant. Yes, that would be your progesterone. Mental development stunted. No. This is for your thyroxine. Okay, nothing to do with mental development. So that will be these two. Okay, so next, number 5. Figure below shows the endocrine system of a man. Okay, so this is what we have done last week, similarly to what we have done. So R is our thyroid gland. Okay, cholangia thyroid. I'm not going to write BM here. So number 2, what will happen to the man if gland R secretes hormone which is less than normal? So what happens? Okay, so what's the function? What does it secrete? This thing secretes thyroxine, right? Thyroxina. What's the function of thyroxine? Is to stimulate metabolism. So if you have too low thyroxine, your metabolism will be low. Okay, so you have low metabolism. Okay, low heart rate, low what else? Low heart rate. You feel cold. Okay, you gain weight easily. Things like that. So what about gland S? Okay, obviously this is a testes. Okay, these are your balls. So one function of the hormones secreted by S, okay, like I said, it's your male secondary sexual characteristic. Or you can just say puberty, okay? Or to stimulate sperm, whatever. This is a really long answer. Okay, so C, figure below shows individual X who has an abnormal height as compared to individual Y who is normal. So, okay, imagine you are this height and then there's another guy like much taller than you. This is what we call gigantism. Okay, gigantism. So what is the factor causing the abnormal height? So what causes gigantism? When you have too much growth hormone. You grow too much. Okay, too tall. Okay, might sound like a good thing to you, but not when you are too tall, all right? Because you don't live a very long life, it will be very stressful on the heart. Okay, so short people, they actually live longer. Fun fact. So name the endocrine gland involved in C1. So what would be the endocrine gland? That would be your pituitary gland, which is your GH. Okay, so as you can see, guys, this chapter, yes, when you learn it, it's kind of technical. There's, quite a lot of things to memorize. But as you keep doing the exercise, you start to realize they are more or less the same. Okay, because they are. Okay, this chapter is as straightforward as it can get. So next, number 6. So diagram below shows the endocrine gland of a male. So label gland J and M. So J would be your pituitary gland. M would be your adrenal gland. All right. Very seldom they will ask about adrenal gland. So B, how are the hormones carried and enter to the targeted organ? All right. So as you have learned, hormones, they don't have their own ducts. If you still remember, what is that? Your endocrine gland, they are ductless gland. Glandia Dampersalo. That means, imagine this is the endocrine gland. They will straight away throw hormones into the bloodstream. Okay, and travel using the blood to their target organ cells. Do they have any glands? Do they have any ducts, any pipes? No. Okay, do they connect with a pipe to their target cells? No. They just use the bloodstream as their, as their transport. Okay, so how are hormones carried? So they secrete directly into bloodstream. So all hormones will go through your blood. So if you want to find out that whether your hormone is normal or not, just do a blood test. Okay, just do a blood test. You can know how is your hormone acting. Okay, do you have a low or a high amount of certain hormones? So secrete directly into the bloodstream. So it is carried by blood to target organs or target cells. Okay, so blood carries your hormone. Anyway, so C, state the nutrient and example of food that is needed to produce hormone secreted by gland. L. Okay, so guys, please change this a bit. Change this to K, please. There's an error in this question. Please change this to K. So K would be your thyroid. Okay, your thyroid here. So what is the nutrient needed for your thyroid? You actually learn this in Form 2. Your thyroid needs a certain mineral to function. If not, this thing will swell. And if this thing swells, we call it goiter. You remember that? You remember that? You know what's goiter? Goiter is when you have a swollen neck like this. So this is called goiter. So what is the nutrient you need? That would be your iodine. Okay, iodine, whatever. I just call it iodine. So what is the example of food? What food has iodine? Anything from the ocean. Seafood or seaweed or iodized salt. Okay, so what is iodized salt? If you buy salt from supermarket, there's a special kind of salt they put it there, iodized. That means they put iodine there. That's supposed to be good for your thyroid. Okay, so if you have abnormal thyroid function, sometimes it's due to nutrition. Okay, make sure you eat enough iodine. So D, state how gland M is functioning when the man is facing an emergency situation. So when you are facing emergency situation, what will M do? It will secrete adrenaline. Okay, secret adrenaline. So this will increase so many things. Increase your heartbeat. Okay, increase your breathing rate, increase your blood glucose level, dilate your pupil. Okay, so that you can escape from danger. Okay, so simple, huh? Funny enough, adrenaline, the adrenal gland, they don't really like asking this in exam. I don't know why. Too easy, good. Okay, maybe. All right, so anyway, let's go to question 7. Let's go to question 7. So diagram below shows the mechanism in the endocrine system to regulate water content in the blood. All right, so this is your endocrine system. So now you have too much water here. Okay, let's just look at this half first. So when you drink too much blood, when you drink too much water, so your water contained in the blood, what happens? Okay, fill in the box with high or low. So when you drink too much water, water content will be high. Okay, it will be high. So you have very watery blood now. You have a lot of water in your system. So what happens to your brain? Your brain will reduce the ADH. If you still remember what is ADH, ADH is the hormone to take your water back. Now they reduce it because they don't want to take water back. Your body already has enough water. They are trying to get rid of it. So there's no ADH in your system. So the urine production will also be high. You drink more water, you have more urine. Makes sense, right? You drink more water, you have a lot of water, you have a lot of urine. Common sense. Okay, so the other way, when you have too little water, so now you have low water content, you will increase your ADH because your body is trying to get all the water back. So now your urine production is low. You drink very little water, you have very little water in the body, you have very little water in your urine. You drink less, you pee less. All right, common sense. So B, what is the gland in the brain that is stimulated to regulate the water content in the blood? So what is the gland in your brain? There's only one gland there. That would be your pituitary gland. Okay, glandular pituitary. What is the name of the hormone? Okay, unfortunately, you have to spell everything if they ask an exam. It's called antidiuretic hormone. In short, we call it ADH. Okay, antidiuretic hormone. So C, besides not drinking enough water, what is the reason X that stimulates more secretion of hormone to regulate water content in the blood? So what is X? X is too little water, right? Besides not drinking enough, what else could cause too little water? Okay, that's one more. That's when you sweat. Okay, sweating. Because you see, when you don't drink enough water, you have very low water. When you sweat a lot, same thing. You sweat a lot, you lose water, so you have very little water. So this is why your mom tells you to drink water. Okay, as annoying as it sounds, that's really important. So D, what is the process Y that takes place before the excretion of urine? So what is process Y here before excretion of urine? How do they make your urine, low amount? They will redraw the water back. What happens when you don't drink a lot of water and eat salty food? Wow, Gabriel, that's a very good question. Okay, when you eat very salty food, okay, guys, have you guys noticed this? When you eat salty food, you get really thirsty, all right? Because this is a regulation mechanism. When your body is very salty, you need water. So what happens when you don't? Funny you should mention that because I kena that before. Okay, what's gonna happen? When your body has not enough water, like really seriously low amount of water, your urine will your same thing will happen to your urine. You have very low amount of urine to a point that your urine gets so concentrated. Yes, UTI is one of it. Okay, Gabriel, UTI is when you're lucky. When you're lucky, you get that painful peeing feeling. That's your UTI. Okay, that's lucky. But if you get so concentrated, the salt will start to crystallize in your kidney. Congratulations, my friend. You have kidney stones. Ask me how I know? Because I kena before. Okay. In hindsight, I was really stupid. There was once, I don't know what I did again. I remember going to the gym and I sweated a lot. And it was a really busy day, so I forgot to drink water. Okay, I know it sounds really silly, but yes, it happened. I forgot to drink water. Okay, it's like saying I forgot to breathe. Okay, so I really did forgot to drink water. And next thing you know, the next day when I woke up, I got woken up by this sharp, painful sensation in my abdomen. If I'm not mistaken, from my right side, really stupid, painful. From a scale of 0 to 10, it's a solid 10. Okay, it's like a, how should I put this? It's like a needle stuck in your kidney. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, so I asked my wife to rush me to the hospital, and they diagnosed me with kidney stones. All right, and fortunately enough, the doctor gave me some salt, some kind of salt to wash the salt out. Drink water and wash it out. Okay, fortunately, I was able to wash it out. Okay, because according to the doctor, if you don't drink enough water, if the salt gets too big, they can try with the salt first, and if it doesn't work, they will try with ultrasound. You know the ultrasound you use for your sonogram. Okay, they will use the ultrasound to try to break the stone up. And if ultrasound fails, if all else fails, you have to go for surgery. Okay, so this actually happened to one of my friend too. He ate outside like all the time. He eat very saltily, and one time he didn't drink enough water. He got kidney stone, and unfortunately, they need to operate. Okay, he needs to undergo operation, and they took out like all these. It's not just one stone, it's a series of stones they took out from his kidney. Scary shit, man. So guys, try not to. I know salty food tastes awesome. Okay, try not to eat too salty, and if you do, if you really do eat salty, please drink enough water. Okay. The wisdom of your mom asking you to drink water, as annoying as it sounds, it has its wisdom. Okay, this is why your mom is so obsessed of you, finishing your bottle. Right, so listen to her. Okay, anyway, so D, what is the process of why this is called reabsorption of water? Okay, penyerapan semula air. So they will absorb your water back so that you don't die. Okay, your body would rather you pee as little as possible so that you don't get dehydrated, because dehydration it's a very serious condition. If you got dehydrated enough in a short term, let's say you lose a lot of fluid in short term, in a very short amount of time, you will go into shock. You go into shock. You go into coma. No joke, man. Okay, so please make sure you drink. Hydrate yourselves. Okay. Anyway, so that would be our hormones. Any of you have any questions? I believe you should be okay, huh? I believe you should be okay, huh? This hormone part. Okay, we have gone through this like 3 weeks already, 3 times already. I hope you are okay with it already. Okay, so silence in the chat. That means you're okay, guys. I take it that you understand, Okay, so anyway, guys, let's go into the next part, which is 7.2. Okay, let's go to 7.2. I'm not gonna go too much into this, but this is really interesting, guys. Okay, let's talk about drugs. Oh, guys, I can go 3 hours on this, okay, because this is really interesting. Okay, so what is a drug, by the way? Okay, what is a drug? Okay, guys, when I say drugs, okay, what do you think of when I talk about drugs? Okay, many of you, okay, when I say drugs, some people say, oh my God, sir, drugs means heroin. It means cocaine. It means methamphetamine. Any of you watch Breaking Bad? Any of you, do you know Breaking Bad? Any of you watch Breaking Bad? For those of you who haven't watched Breaking Bad, for the love of God, go and watch Breaking Bad. That is a serious, freaking awesome TV series. Okay, go and watch it. Okay, so that is a TV series about drugs. Okay, that TV series will put all other TV series to shame. Watch it and you won't regret. Okay, so anyway, what is a drug? All right, so when you think of hardcore drugs, then you are half correct. All right, so what is a drug? Drug is basically anything that changes your body process. Okay, drugs are chemical substance that can disrupt neuron function. You know what? I don't like this description. I just like to call drug as a substance that change body processes. All right, anything that change your body process is a drug. So in a way, Panadol is a drug. Okay, because it's a painkiller. It stops your pain. It changes your body. How does it perceive pain? All right, let's say you have a stupid, annoying pain, toothache, for example. You pop your 2 Panadols and the toothache is gone. Is it really gone though? No, you're just numbing you're just killing off the pain. You're just numbing the painful signal to your brain. So in a way, it changes your body process. So it is a drug. All right. So drug is actually medicine. It's just that how you use it. All right. So drug is actually medicine. Because in the US, if you watch any US drama, they don't call it pharmacy in the US. Right? Pharmacy is what we call it. It's what the UK call it. It's what Australians call it. In US, they call it drugstore. Okay, so I was once in such a shock. Drugstore? Wow, you mean they have a store selling drugs? Well, technically, yeah, it's a pharmacy, right? So yeah, that's a drugstore. Anyway, so drug is anything that that changes your body processes, right? The drugs that you think of like cocaine or heroin and whatnot, those are what we call prescription drugs. Okay, so when it comes to drugs, some drugs you can buy the drugs OTC. You know what is OTC? OTC means all over the counter. That means you just walk to any pharmacy, you can say, can you sell me this drug? They say, okay, you don't need any prescription. That means you don't need permission for any doctor. They can just sell it to you like that. So that's your over-the-counter drug. For example, your cough medicine, certain cough medicine, Panadols, ibuprofen. Okay, ibuprofen is another Panadol, okay, another painkiller. These things, they don't need prescription. You can just buy it how many you want. Okay, and then the next one would be prescription drugs. This is where the problem gets complicated. Prescription drugs, they are usually very strict over this thing because you need a doctor's permission. Why? Because there's a chance of abuse. What is abuse? Okay, when we talk about drug abuse is when you use drug off label. You use it not for their purpose. For example, do you know that amphetamine, okay, amphetamine is used to treat ADHD? Guys, do you know what is ADHD? Do you know what is ADHD? If you have dealt with a kid with ADHD, you know what is that, okay? They can't sit down. Okay, they will just jump up and down, okay? Basically hyperactive lah, okay? So ADHD. So amphetamine is a drug used to, if your kid has ADHD, the doctor will give your kid amphetamine to treat this thing. Okay, so if you use it for that purpose, good for you, because you use it for prescription. Okay, why does it happen more on boys than girls? Because boys are more active. Boys have higher metabolism. Okay, wow, that's a really good question, Gabriel. Okay, anyway, so if you use it not for the prescription purpose, let's say you use amphetamine to get high, you know, it's getting high, right? Okay, to make yourself feel happy, that is off-label use, then that is what we call drug abuse. Okay, so this is a big problem. Okay, guys, drugs, I can go holding on this. Okay, so let's talk about types of drugs here. Okay, when we are talking about drugs here, we are talking about psychotherapy drugs. Okay, drugs that changes your brain. Okay, we are not talking about some petty drugs like Panadol. Oh, I'm gonna abuse Panadol. No, you're not gonna do anything abusing Panadol, right? So there are 5 types of drugs here. Okay, there are 5 types of drugs here. So let's go into one by one. So first of all, let's talk about depressant. Okay, so what is a depressant? All right, as the name says, it depresses you. So what does it mean? It will press down your central nervous system. It slows down your nerve impulse. Basically, it puts a brake on your brain. Okay, as in stepping on the brake, it puts a brake on your brain. Basically, when you take depressant, this depressant will tell your brain, bro, chill, chill, everything is okay. All right, so after taking depressant, you feel very relaxed, okay, like everything is okay. Okay, you feel more relaxed. So this class of drug, depressant, is mostly prescribed for anxiety user. Okay, if you have anxiety, if you have panic attacks, if you have PTSD, guys, do you know what is PTSD? Post-traumatic, what was it again? Sorry, PTSD. Basically, you have gone through some traumatic shit. Okay, stress disorder, yes, thank you. Okay, basically, you have gone through some messed up, some fucked up shit. Okay, you were abused. Okay, you've gone through some kind of family domestic abuse or some shit. Okay, that it keeps triggering you in your brain. So you need to take some depressant to kind of slow you down. That's why people who has PTSD, they abuse drugs. All right, because guys, depressant is very addictive. All right, so one of it is barbiturate. What is this thing? Basically, this is your sleeping pill. Okay, sort of like tranquilizer. And of course, guys, do you know what's the most common depressant? That would be your alcohol. Okay, have you ever wondered why? Why after people taking alcohol, they will do some crazy shit because they feel relaxed lah. Okay, trust me lah. Next time you take alcohol, you will know. Okay, because I've done my fair share of alcohol. Okay, back in my crazy days, I've gotten drunk plenty of times. Not proud of it. I've done some messed up crazy shit. Okay, so when you take alcohol, basically you are very relaxed. Okay, like everything is okay. All right, before taking alcohol, one moment you are that stuck up, tight-lipped person. Once taken alcohol, okay, you open yourself up. Okay, you are that chillax dude. Alcohol can do wonders, man. Okay, say if you're a not so brave person, okay, let's say your friend say, hey, that girl is really hot, go and get her number. You're like, no, I don't want to. Few alcohols later, wow, you just grow another pair of balls. Okay, you're like, I got this shit, man. And before you know it, you're there taking a number. Okay, so you're like, why are you so brave suddenly? Because of the alcohol. Because alcohol makes you relax. Okay, so this is why when you need to, voice, when you have something in your heart that you want to voice it out, okay, alcohol will help. Okay, next time you'll know. All right, anyway, so guys, funny thing about alcohol, it is the drug that causes the most death every year. Okay, if you ask me, sir, what is the most dangerous type of drugs? It's not heroin, it's not cocaine, it's not whatever drugs that you can think of. It is alcohol by far. Okay, alcohol has caused more death than all other drugs combined. All right, you combine the death from whatever anabolic steroids, cocaine, whatever, you combine everything, it is still not as high as alcohol. Okay, alcohol is the single drug that causes the most death every year. So don't drink and drive. Okay, because that's the thing that causes the most death. Okay, and you know what's the funny thing? Alcohol, they cause the most death, right? Is the most dangerous drug, right? They are legal. You see, it's a really funny thing. You might say, sir, why is this legal? Why is alcohol legal? Because you see, alcohol has a very long history in human history. All right, we have been consuming alcohol since, I don't know, 4,000-5,000 years ago. They found alcohol in Tamadun, Mesopotamia, or Mesopotami already. That's like 5,000 years ago. We have been starting to consume alcohol. All right, so you can't just ban this thing because it has very important cultural significance. Okay, so we can't just ban it. Okay, the US did try it. The US did try it. Okay, guys, do you know banning drugs is actually doing more harm than good? You might say, okay, sir, since let's say alcohol is bad, right? Why not we ban it? This is, I think, in 100 years ago, was it more than 100? Okay, around 100 years ago, back in the 1920s, 1930s, in the US, this is what they did. It's called the prohibition law. Go and do a research on that prohibition law. So what did the US government do? Okay, because the US government that time they think, oh, alcohol is bad, so they ban it. They ban alcohol like nationwide. Okay, so you know what people started doing? You know what people started doing? They started bootlegging. They started, making alcohol their own, and they started smuggling. You see, drug is a thing that you cannot stop. When people's lives depend on it, addiction is a very strong thing. It's not like you ban it, people are gonna stop consuming it. No, okay. This is how moonshine came around. You know what is guys? Have you heard of what is moonshine? In rural parts of the US, okay, since they have no money for alcohol, right? And the US, the government banned it, right? So what they do, they make it on their own. Okay, and it's usually at night they make it. So that's why they call it moonshine. It's called moonshining. All right, so this is why all these brewery that exist, they are mostly moonshiners last time. Okay, so they started making, fake alcohols. They started smuggling it, and then during that time, during the 1920s, many immigrants, especially from Italy, especially the Italians, they started flooding into the US carrying alcohol. And then they formed something called a mafia culture. Okay, do you know in the 1920s and 30s, mafia is very serious in the US? Okay, have you heard of Al Capone? Okay, that very famous drug lord. He got rich by selling alcohol. Okay, Al Capone. Oh my God, you should go and read about him. Okay, he is a very high profile, drug lord, selling. Do you know the movie Scarface? It's based on him. Al Capone. Okay, he's an American gangster. So you see, by banning alcohol, the US government thought, yes, we did it, guys. We banned alcohol. There will be no more alcohol. No. Not only you make people crave for alcohol more, they started drug war. They started gang war. So mafia gangs, they started having this turf dispute. They started, violence. So banning alcohol, it's not a very good idea. So in the end, the US government said, you know what, screw it. Let's unban alcohol. Okay, so you see, this is why alcohol until today, they are not banned. And you see, in Malaysia, whenever it comes to alcohol, you know who's the one that's making the most noise? PAS. Okay, the party, the party Islam, they started making noise. Oh, they should ban alcohol. Alcohol is, we are an Islamic country. Okay, we should not have alcohol. This and that. You know why until today Malaysia government is not banning alcohol? Because alcohol gets you a lot of tax revenue. Guys, alcohol in Malaysia is 150% tax. That can of Carlsberg you buy from, let's say your dad buys whatever alcohol, okay, Carlsberg or whatever, you buy the can of Carlsberg from 7-Eleven or whatever, it costs you like 6-7 ringgit. The original price is 2 ringgit. 150% tax. You think the government is going to let go of this? No. Fuck no. Okay, so all this noise they are making, ban alcohol. Okay, all these member parliament, making noise, you don't take the salary lah. Okay, your salary comes from that alcohol too. Okay, so all they're just bullshitting. Okay, anyway, so these are your depressants. They slow you down, they make you relax. Okay, on the other hand, you have something called stimulant. Okay, so this will do the reverse. Depressant is to slow you down. Stimulant is to make you panic, is to stimulate you, to make you awake. So this thing will speed up impulse transmission. Okay, so guys, do you know what's the most common stimulant we drink every day? Maybe you don't, but your parents certainly do, right? Your parents are including me, most adults, they will need this thing in the morning. That would be coffee. All right, and in coffee, you have something called caffeine. This is the most common stimulant we use every day. All right, guys, caffeine is a blessing. I don't know about you, I hope you are not addicted to coffee just yet. because you're growing, you're 16 this year, you don't need coffee. But for me, coffee is like a essential thing every day. Without coffee, I will bite people. Seriously. Literally, I will bite people, okay? Without coffee, I just will not function. Okay, so that's a stimulant. That's why caffeine will speed up your brain. That's why they make you awake. So it's a stimulant, right? And of course, there's another drug, another stimulant that is also legal. Okay, by the way, caffeine is legal. Okay, and there's another legal one, which is nicotine. All right, have you heard of this before? All right, nicotine is in your cigarette. So cigarette is legal. All right, so cigarette, nicotine, and caffeine, they are the most common stimulant we use every day. So in a way, if you enjoy drinking coffee like me, if you're very addicted to coffee like me, you are technically a drug addict. Right? You're a drug addict. I am a drug addict because I'm addicted to caffeine. Yeah, I suppose, right? Right? Technically speaking, if you are dependent on any substance, you are a drug addict. It's just that your drug is not that hardcore lah. Okay, let's talk about some hardcore stuff, shall we? Okay, so amphetamine. What is amphetamine? Guys, this thing is a prescription drug. Like I said, this is for ADHD patients. And if you take this thing will make you high, like seriously high. And you know what's the best thing? We humans, we somehow found a way to make it more potent, to make it even better by making it into methamphetamine. What is this? Guys, do you know what is methamphetamine? Have you heard of crystal meth? Or we call it shabu. That's the thing lah. Methamphetamine. Oh, guys, if you are good enough, if you are good in chemistry, you can actually make this at home. Methamphetamine, you can make this at home. We call it crystal meth because it looks like crystal. Okay, and you know how strong this thing is? This is a bloody strong stimulant. You know how strong? My friend who's a doctor, he has a patient that takes methamphetamine. Okay, according to him, you know how strong is this thing? Once you take methamphetamine, you will not sleep for 3 days. 3 freaking days. You will stay awake. All right, and when this thing come crashing down, you will sleep for 2 days. All right, and you know what's the thing about methamphetamine? You know what makes methamphetamine so addictive? Because they kind of mimic a certain thing in our brain called dopamine. Guys, have you heard of what is dopamine? Do you even survive after sleeping that long? Yeah, I guess you do. Okay, if not, he will be long dead. Okay, so guys, do you know what is dopamine? Dopamine is that substance in your brain. Your brain will produce dopamine when you achieve something. That sense of achievement comes from dopamine. You know the feeling when let's say you learn piano, right? Okay, you have been practicing for this song for months. The first time you are able to play it, whoa, that euphoric feeling, the winning, the yes, that feeling is dopamine. So when you take a puff of meth, it stimulates that feeling, that champion euphoric feeling. So if you're really happy, the dopamine makes you really happy. But the happier you go, when the thing comes crashing down, the shittier you feel. So what's next? You want more. And before you know it, you're addicted to this shit. Okay, so this is why methamphetamine is really addictive. Okay, so that's a stimulant. Okay, that's a stimulant. So guys, please do not resort to things like these. Once you go in, you cannot go out. The addiction is really, really strong. Okay, so anyway, you know what, guys, I'm gonna stop here. Because it's a really chillax day today, and it's holiday next week, guys. It's a holiday next week, so I'm not gonna go too much into anything today. All right, so guys, thank you for coming. Okay, wish you have a happy Merdeka again. I will see you the same time next week. Do enjoy your holiday next week. Okay, I will see you soon when you come back. All right, so guys, see you. Take care. Goodbye, and see you. Bye bye.